translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up and it is time to pick another language. Mordför är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula giderim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. Okay. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Ça, c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça, sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco.
Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyper Polyglotting avec Élise. Moi c'est Élise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout Shogi en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10-159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Nej. Man. Igen. Ja. 5. Ducks are drinking wine. Barbaz, okay, Barbaz is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré, des généraux dégénérés. Facile.
Sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or what? And yeah, and here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or, fuck sounds vaguely like hogun and the hok in hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that appears it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, ça chante chasser. Ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt.
Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más.
Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos.
Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That's also. How are the boys? Cocine tapor. Poso milao. Pote. Buenese. Proteine. Utros. Protopulo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously.
Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Monsieur. Livre. Liwe, livre.
Bucks
Mustan kissan paksut posket.
Macieje.
Yeah.
Yeah. Si. Vysoký. Macieje. Proč? Víte. Počkej. A. Si.
Track 6.
Aspri petraxes aspri apton ilioxex asproteri. Aspri petraxes aspri apton ilioxex asproteri.
Ten coginio panas.
Oh boy.
Da ferad verda ferra ferda vetri.
Hakab. Hefed. 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 Hek. Hek. Hek.
Саша по шоссе.
А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку. А Саша по шоссе несла сушку на счастье и сосала сушку.
Mwalimu.
The center. It's from Muallim.
Juma ni mwalimu mke.
Ирак чимав чипах чемп чавю чини.
Hello and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I'm Elise, translator, writer, and editor with 20 working languages, and this is a stream where we're going to do some attempted music, something new I'm just trying out. Maybe you'll enjoy it. I hope so. I'll play some Shogi and talk about languages and language learning and Japanese and all that good stuff. So let me just get a couple of things set up the way I need them so I can actually see what's going on here. How's everybody doing, chat? I say attempted music because I'm really very much still learning, and it will be interesting to see. Maybe this will come out nicely, maybe this won't. I've got this great keyboard that I got as a birthday present not too long ago. More than a year anyway. But okay, so where are we? Okay, those are the violins. Let's see what we can start out. Then we're learning to write like orchestral music and stuff, and other things to like score my videos and things. So let me see. Celli spiccato. Let's see what we can do. Let's just start out with what's called an ostinato. That could be something. Let me see. Strings shouldn't be too high though. Let me just adjust their volume. Let's see, mix console. celli long. No, not long, I mean spiccato. No, not quite. Ahoy! Sausage! Okay, record that. Yeah, no, not quite. Ah, dobre, dobre. This is an Arturia Keylab Essential. It was a lovely present, and it does not actually have onboard sounds, but you can play pretty much any plugins with it. And so what I'm playing here is the these are the spiccato celli from the free Spitfire BBC Orchestra plugin. It's amazing how many free plugins there are. There is also a full BBC Orchestra plugin, which is
wild expensive. I mean, that is like, it's like $800. It includes a much broader collection of articulations and stuff like that. But for starting out, this isn't bad. Let's see, how's that sound? Liking that. So we're gonna okay, that was not entirely in time, but I like the sound of it so far. That can all be addressed elsewhere. Okay, so I think we're gonna switch over. Get some higher notes in here.
Okay, this is coming along. Got some sort of some background strings going on. Admittedly, the basses are a little bit out of time because my tempo went all the way up into the stratosphere towards the end of it, but that can be worked on. Okay, take this down an octave. Okay, so let's rewind that. Okay, we're already back. Not really any melody going on in this. All very stringy and rhythmic. Maybe a clarinet might be nice. Actually, yeah. Well, yeah, let's start out with a clarinet anyway. No, popatrzmy. let's just actually at the beginning and in the lower passages do something else for the rest. Well, there was like one shitty note in there. One, I just sort of bumped the key a little bit. Bumped two keys at once. So we're gonna... Okay. What else can we throw in? Well... I don't know, piccolo. Gotta use that sparingly. Horns could be it. Yeah, maybe. Let's try that out. Though. Just the long French horns. They have more range and I'm not looking to blast it just yet. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going for here. So let's try that again. Okay, that's the sweet spot. This. Okay. So that's getting there a little. Now we want the heroic horns in there towards the end. Staking out the range. Okay, first. Bit of clipping on that. But here we go. entirely sure about that. But we'll go with it for the moment. What else might make this interesting? Some trombones. Okay, trouble is I actually am barely hearing the trombones over everything else. So I think I need to adjust the audio mix a little bit so that I can actually hear what I'm doing with them. Okay. Yeah, not sure about that. Okay. With his heroic horns, we're getting a little bit too heroic there, I think. And I couldn't actually hear any of the others. Dissonance that I want. I think I'm gonna scrap that. Haven't actually recorded anything out of trombones. I think I'm gonna keep them out of here. A little bit of xylophony might be interesting, though. Let's try that. Towards the end and the faster bit, that sounds kind of cool. So I'm going to do that. Okay, that is kind of interesting. Okay. That is sounding interesting anyway. Don't know if it necessarily rises to the level of good. I'm just gonna save that real quick, and we're gonna go on a little bio break, and then we're gonna play some Shogi. So I will see you in just a few minutes. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks. Perfect. Okay, 3 of 4.
El hospital.
還元一級の先というのは、本当に誰も知らない字ばっかりでしょうね。私は
Okay, we've leveled up, and it is time to pick another language. Morfar är tröttare än vanligt. Maten är färdig. And let's see what we're doing when we get back. Greek. We're doing Greek when we get back. Ben neredeyse her gün okula gidelim. Fun fact. Turkish. Hello, Shakespeare. How you doing? Fun fact, in Spanish, the word for bishop in chess is alfil. And that actually comes from Arabic. Fil. The same word fil as this. Meaning elephant, because the bishop traditionally was to represent elephant units somehow. Similarly, in Russian, the word for bishop is squab, and that also means elephant. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time, and we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. So anyone who would like to support this project can find links in the description for how to do so, and everybody who has already supported it has my sincerest thanks.
Ça, ça, ah c'est ça, que c'est ça, non ça, c'est ça. Sol chi sa che nulla sa, ne sa più di chi ne sa. Ecco. Bonjour et bienvenue à Hyperpolyglotting avec Elise. Moi, c'est Elise, traductrice, éditrice et écrivain avec 20 ans de travail. Et ça, c'est la transmission en direct ou en jeu des jeux, surtout Shogi en dernier temps. Et parle des langues, de la linguistique, de l'acquisition des langues.
10:159. Haven't made a huge dent in it, but we're getting there. Okay, gonna do some Chinese now. Night. Night. Come on. Yeah. Yo. 5.
ducks are drinking wine. Parvati. Parva, okay, Parvaz is duck. Okay, I have now leveled up. Let's see what the XP situation is now. 10,340 out of 12,500. And as always, viewers can choose my next language for me just with a follow and a $5 to my Patreon.
Sotto le frasche del capanno 4 gatti grossi stanno. Sotto 4 grossi sassi, 4 grossi e grassi gatti. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Un généreux déjeuner régénéré des généraux dégénérés. Facile. Sì, ecco, la gente, è la cosa che mi dice la gente, sempre che scoprisce che quante lingue parlo, io sempre avevo l'impressione, diciamo, di che non era così, non era tan così, ma poi, dopo di aver visto qualche poliglota in YouTube, una delle cose che avevo scoperte era giustamente che la metodologia usata da quella gente poliglota che non avevo mai conosciuta prima, era più o meno la stessa metodologia che usavo io.
I buy a computer or quack, and here's another example. I like to point these out. For this word for or, quack sounds vaguely like hogun and the hok in hogun in Korean or waku in Japanese, and that because it is the exact same kind of character.
Okay, let me see.
Un chasseur, ça son chassé, ses chassés sont son chien de chasse.
Der dicke Dach.
Okay, der dicke Dachdecker deckt dir dein Dach, drum dank dem dicken Dachdecker, dass der dicke Dachdecker dir dein Dach deckt. Hola y bienvenidos al directo de Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. Yo soy Elisa, traductora, escritora y editora y comunicadora social con más de 20 idiomas de trabajo. Y aquí vamos a estar jugando videojuegos, sobre todo GeoGuessr, y hablando de idioma, la mejor forma de aprenderlo y caleta más. Zwei Zwetschgenzweigen zwitscherten zwei tschechische Schwalben. Tres tristes tigres tragaban trigo en un trigal en tres tristes trastos.
Oh, I see. This is Diche Ishai Fui, which means do you want food? But yeah, are you hungry? That kind of thing. How are the boys? Cocine da boy. Posso Milao. Pote. When is it? Proteine. Topulo. In the designated chicken eating area, obviously.
Okay, still 3 times I have to defeat him. And I don't have a whole lot of health left.
This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment of the English language Marxist canon has only been possible with your support, and it's been a real lifeline for me. Okay, and I'm back, and now we're gonna play a little bit of Shogi. How's everybody doing? Anyone who's just joined? Okay, first move. Okay, that didn't go quite the way I was hoping it would. It's just a free kaku. ただね、角なんかやらないんだから。じゃあ、煮上がって、アクソ。これでもう一枚かな。ああ、負けた。Okay, that wasn't a great start. Thing is, when you get to 9Q, which I have, they start actually pairing you off with people who are decent.
17級と言っても何の意味
片身の囲い。ちょんまげみの。
よし。これから銀上がって暴銀効果を発動します。とはめられてるな。よし。済むしかないな、K は。だからちょっと攻撃したら済むでしょう。下げるしかないな。
7分。
ああ、終わるかな。ないな。
お前なら極められるかもしれんの。
やったぞ。
将棋ウォーズの王道を。
Okay, let's do it again. もう一度やってみよう。連勝にして何すればいいのでしょう。
お前が後手だ。対局開始。四間飛車。片身の囲い。身の囲い。
Okay, interesting placement of the king here. Might be able to do a little something with that.
Oh, damn it, that was not good. それは不良手だった。There we go, nice little fork.
7分
Got a king chase, which is always a handy little thing to have in these situations.
よくぞやった。しかし、将棋ウォーズを勝ち抜くのはまだまだ厳しいぞ。
だろうな。I have to make it just a little pause, so I'm dealing with a little bit of ocular shit. Hi, and welcome to Hyperpolyglotting with Elise. I am Elise, translator, editor, and writer with 20 working languages, and this is where we talk about languages and language learning and all sorts of other stuff, and we play games. This is Elise with an update on the ongoing Inessa Armand translation project. We now have 37 of the 38 extant essays and speeches by Inessa Armand translated into English for the first time. And we are just short of the halfway mark on the fundraising progress as well. This enrichment... Okay, and I'm back. Just have to always grab something with some caffeine in it when that starts up, because otherwise it just scrambles me a little bit, and
If I catch it early enough, I can make it go away very quickly. Hopefully that is going to be the case here. North Korean shocked when I order in North Korean. I am kind of curious from Xiaoma. First of all, to the extent to which it actually is, to which he's actually speaking Northern Korean and not just Korean. Northern Korean is kind of the variant that I learned first. So let's check that out.
I secretly learned to speak North Korean dialects from an actual North Korean.
Okay. I would say if you want to learn it, I mean, that's actually not a bad way, but also you can watch North Korean TV live on the internet. And you can watch, like, North Korean dramas are available for free on YouTube, so we'll see. Okay, so this is...
defector, and then I went to real North Korean restaurants to try ordering in North Korean, and...
Okay, I'm very curious. This is an actual thing. North Korea has, in a few places still, restaurants that the government actually still directly operates. It's one of their main sources of foreign exchange because practically everything else has been cut off. I know there's some in, like, Cambodia and Vietnam. I think there might be one in Russia.
Things got a little out of hand. But first, a huge thanks to Quillbot for sponsoring this video. We've all been there. Sometimes you're writing a work email and you need to exclamation point browser, so you could text what I was hoping using my link back to the video. Let's 안녕하세요.
뭐 드실까요?
두부밥 드십니까?
네, 있어요.
두부밥?
네.
두부밥랑
인조 고기밥?
너무
네, 있어요.
두부밥?
네.
두부밥랑
인조 고기밥?
너무 국수? 인조 고기밥?
반반? 너무 국수.
네. 오이요. 고맙습니다. 국수
Okay, so far, I mean, this is just sounding like regular ass Southern Korean spoken somewhat unconfidently.
입니까?
네.
네. Wow, look at this.
오, 이거 매워서? 양념 매워요?
매워요?
라.
매일? 네.
맵다. Yes. Okay.
저는 좋아합니다. So good.
Okay, so it sounds like he's in China, which is another place where you'd probably find one. Shenzhen.
매일 조금 넣어요. 매운 조금입니다.
조금 맵다.
네.
Yeah. Okay, so Korean really... so Korean seems like a very much a work in progress for him. Yeah, like he was trying to say 조금 맵습니다. And he was getting that 매운 is like the adjective attributive form of 맵다, which means spicy, but he wasn't quite sure where to go with that. And she straightened him out on it.
하지만
맛있다.
좋아합니다. 맛있다.
좋아합니다.
네네네.
한국, 베트남, 미국.
미국에서 왔습니다. 하지만 미국 놈 아닙니다. 미국 놈 아닙니다. 예.
Yes.
저는 남조선의 조음입니다. 조음입니다.
남조선이라.
처음이라고?
조음입니다. 네네네네.
So he's in South Korea.
잘하네요.
네. 사람?
At least he's saying South Korea. He's in 남조선.
공부하고 있어요? 한국말?
공부 한국말 네 조선말 so
Okay, so he's in a North Korean style restaurant. They have those because there's a fair number of defectors and some of them open restaurants.
아닙니다.
Yeah, like he says Pukan, which is the South Korean way of referring to the North.
동무 얼마 동안 대동강 매주 있습니까?
I'm guessing not. Yeah, but like if you go to like the ones in China or Russia, I think you do get that. Because I mean, South Korea does not have any kind of direct trade, especially at the moment, does not have any kind of direct trade ties with the North, so you can't get like legit North Korean beer there. Though I think some people make like potato style.
초선호 조금
Yeah.
한국말 잘하신다면서요? 한국말.
중국말
Yeah. This is of course the language that, as far as I know, he's best at.
잘해요?
잘해요. 잘 네. 네. 你是中国人吗？哦，你是中国人。哎呦，太好了，我就听不懂大家。
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, oh good, we've got somebody Chinese so I can understand what everybody's talking about.
终于可以帮我翻译了。我35살입니다. 35살입니다. 네. 국조선 음식 마고 본 적 없습니다. 네, 처음 먹었습니다. 네, 처음 먹었어요. 맛있습니다. 네, 然后我来点嘛。
Kanchop. Yeah, kanchop, that's spy.
我？你告诉他我是一个 YouTuber。
국제선에서 왔어.
네.
도망쳐서 감옥에서. 감방. 감방에서
중국 가고 봤습니다.
중국에서 중국을 해서 중국 왔다 갔다.
Yeah, I mean, I think potentially it can, and especially it's like he very explicitly does not. I mean, he isn't claimed to be particularly good at it. I mean, sometimes the video titles are kind of clickbaity on there. Although, personally, I have to say, as somebody who's like, first of all, hello, Brian. As somebody who's like sort of home variant of Korean, it skews northern just because of watching a lot of northern television and sort of the formative period. I've always been curious to go to one of these places and just see what they're, because it's like he's like the only North Korean things he's actually saying. He's saying like Nam Choson, Puk Choson, and stuff like that, which is the northern way to refer. Although these days I've actually heard in northern sources people saying Hanguk, because there's sort of this reorientation going around in terms of considering the chances of actual reunification given the kind of attitudes the government in the South has. And so they've sort of shifted some of the attitude on that and some of the terminology as well. But, so yeah. So he isn't, like, I was wondering, like, I was mostly curious to see to the extent to which he was going into that. Like, because there's a different pronunciation, the vowels are different. Like, sorry, there are vowel distinctions that are made in Northern Korean that used to be made in the South too, but now you only really hear in the North. And, like, the pronunciation is often quite different. But he's just basically speaking South Korean and he says a couple of Northern Korean words.
노스코리아.
North Korea.
거기서 지금 평양.
평양. 있습니까?
태국.
몇 살?
몇살 때가-
몇 살 한국에 몇 살 남조선에
왔는가? 드리나이.
드리나이.
서른아홉.
궁금합니다.
궁금하다고.
궁금합니다. 네.
북한은
So,
겨울집이나.
저는 미국 놈입니다.
The thing is, it's actually kind of hard to tell because of its pronunciation whether he's saying 미국놈, which would be like just U.S. bastard, or 미군놈, which would be U.S. Army bastard.
저는 미국 놈입니다. 왜냐면 북조선에서 갈수
북조선
Oh, the pro tip: the thing is, one thing to know about this is, it isn't because North Korea won't accept a U.S. passport. They will actually, as far as they're concerned, they're fine with it. I mean, they want your foreign exchange apart from everything else. But the U.S. Has declared that U.S. passports are not valid for travel to the DPRK. So unless you have a spare nationality lying around someplace, you can't get in with a U.S. passport because you can potentially end up in the shit when you come back to the U.S.
부담 안 돼. 미국 놈이라고.
미국 놈, no. 저는
공부 잘한다.
공부 쉽습니다.
IQ 높고 이 지구도 이제 쫙 만나서 반갑고 지구
서울 가고
Okay, so I was just kind of curious about that one. But let's see. What else have we got? Oh, we've got 日本語ペラペラ外国人からが語る漢字の素晴らしさ. And I personally love kanji as well, so. Oh yeah, I mean, like Northern Korean has a kind of a full-on feel to it, especially like the way that their announcers speak. It's actually, I was reading, there's this interesting book called Munwaoe Suop, which is about, it's this dialectologist from Seoul who gets special permission to spend 6 months in Pyongyang with his family to research the way people talk in the north. And quite interesting book. And one of the things he says is actually the announcers, I mean, they sound very different now, but they sound a lot like television and radio announcers sounded like in the South like 50, 60 years ago. So it isn't that fundamentally different. But yes, it is a much more full-on, so to speak. 위대한 영도자 김정일 동지께서. That really, it is potent, I guess you could say. There's an intensity to it where the southern way of speaking is a little bit less so.
어떻게 갑니까?
But okay, so 日本語ペラペラ外国人が語る漢字の素晴らしさ。
例えばこの日韓関係とかも。
Oh, okay. Oh, we've got Matt versus Japan. Various people I'm not familiar with. Drop the link in chat. Oh.
普通にもう4文字で言いやすいじゃん。もう英語にすると The relationship between Japan and Korea.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you can't say Japan-Korea relations, but it's still way longer than Nikkan Kanki. 4 characters. It says the whole thing. I mean, that is absolutely one of the reasons I like kanji, because you can just read a lot faster potentially. Like, if you read, like, I've been reading a lot of law books lately, and the amount of space it takes to say something like, accessory rights and immovable property in Japanese compared to how many words I had to say that same sort of thing, it is, there's just no comparison. It just takes up so much less space. It is much more efficient.
めちゃめちゃ長くなる。カタカナでロハ。でも無料っていう意味なんだけど、まあこれなぜかっていうと、で、ただっていう漢字わかります？これ。
ただいまのただ。
お金払わなくても無料でもらうっていう意味があるんだけど、その分解したらロ。日本語ほど
ロハ、そうか。
文字に遊び心を込められる言語はないと思う。
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you can, it is actually, you can have a lot of fun with kanji once you start to know what sort of things, like what the components are. You can play around with all sorts of things. Ateji, you can have, I mean, you can have a very nice evening with people just coming up with like satirical and cute ateji for things.
こんにちは全人類と友達になる男僕がミスター富士ですそして
柳もですそして
バーンです and can I just call you a member now? like
もういいんじゃない？
Alright and our new member
マットでーす。
Hey! Welcome back man here we go
すっかりレギュラーに
好き勝手マットのこと呼びまくってるから
いいね。いやいやいやもう嬉しい限りですわ。
はいメンバーということでありがとうございます
ありがとうございます
I mean, in general, it's a kind of an efficient language. Because, like, there's that suffix, yobimakutteru. You can just add, there's two syllables you can add to any verb, pretty much, that just turns it into, like, incessantly doing a thing. Yonde, calling, yobimakutteru, constantly fucking, never, non-stop calling.
今日のテーマは
All the time.
日本語ペラペラ外国人が語る漢字の素晴らしさマットね僕らのチャンネル最近だいぶ出てくれてるからみんなもご存知だと思うんですが外国人向けに日本語を教える活動をされていて
Good. The optical bullshit seems to have gone elsewhere.
外国人の日本語勉強界隈ではもう神様みたいな、そんなインフルエンサーとなっておりまして、まあ、最近日本人に英語を教えるっていうのもどんどんやってってるということなんで、まあ以後お見知りおきをということなんですがもうこれから日本語ね喋ってくれると思うんだけど
Okay. And let me just make sure you can actually see these. Okay, you can't because my head's in the way. Sorry about that. Let me just switch this because it will simplify things if I'm not having to translate everything as I'm commenting on it. There we go. Okay, adjusting video size. And location. There we go. I mean...
ペラペラです
I
think that's an understatement. That is like Matt's like he knows kanji that you don't even know.
そうねそれまあ今日はそんなマットが持ち込んでくれる企画ということで漢字の素晴らしさ
はい僕も見たことある方はマットってすごいイントネーションとかアクセントとか日本語の発音が好きそうだなってもしかしたら思われてるかもしれないんだけど実は僕のまあ、日本語能力の中で一番得意なのは漢字だとまあ個人的には思ってるんですよ。
漢字マニアね。
いやもう相当自信ないと言えないことだね。
まあそれ読む分にはね書く分
Yeah, I mean to say that that does definitely you would require you'd have to either be very naive or extremely confident in your ability just because of the vastness of the thing. Because I mean just to be literate for anyone who's unfamiliar you gotta know over 2,000 of them. Just, you know, to be able to function, I mean, you could probably get by on somewhat less than that, but you wouldn't, there would be a lot of things that you would sort of have difficulty with potentially. To really, but like really, if you do the Kanken Ikkyu, for example, which is the highest level of kanji proficiency test, you have to know another like 6,000 odd in addition to that. I've been sort of studying that as I've been also studying for the Japanese preliminary bar exam.
はまあそんなにめちゃくちゃできるわけじゃ
well because Japanese law books are full of Kanken Ikkyu kanji.
ないんだけど、まあ、読む分には結構難しいやつも、まあ、ちょっとはいけるのかなっていう、はい、
そんなマットが勉強する中で見つけた海外視点の日本の漢字の素晴らしさというか、
はい、そうですね、まあ、4つの、はい、ポイントにまとめて
おー、
はい、
はい、じゃあ
4つのポイントにまとめたぞ。
皆さん今日も
効率的だ。
すごくお楽しみくださいということで、それでは Let's find out! 1個目、
漢字はすごい実用的です。
いやいや、同感。全く賛成します。だってスペース的にはローマ字などのよりはずっと効率的なんで、
これも英語に比べてみたいなその視点も入ってるんですけど、ツイッターってあるじゃないですか。文字数限られるじゃないですか。で、英語の方が書けることその同じ文字数の中で
Yeah, I mean, it's great writing on Twitter in Japanese because you can write probably about 3 times as much as you can write in like English and probably about 10 times as much as you can write in German.
的に限られちゃうんですよ。日本
But
語
of
の
course, the thing about it is, yeah, I mean, my experience anyway is you write a nice long detailed tweet and everything in Japanese, and then you send it, and then it turns out towards the middle there was something they got converted that makes the whole thing look ridiculous, and then you have to go back and decide whether you're gonna either rewrite it and correct it, or just sort of say fuck it.
単語、例えば日本語ってもう3文字なわけじゃないですか。でも Japanese っていうともう倍以上あるじゃないですか。
多分ツイッターにハマらなかった理由はそれにあるかもしれない。なんか英語とかドイツ語で。
だってドイツ語、彼女オーストリア人でしょ。ドイツ語でツイッターに書き込んだらあんまりにも言葉が長すぎますから、略しないとダメですよ、ツイッターは。
書いても何も書けへんやんみたいな。
もっと伝えたいことあるのに。
日本語したらめっちゃ書けるって思って。
そう、多分もうその体感も3倍ぐらい日本語の場合書けるんじゃないかっていうぐらい、そういう少ない文字数っていうか少ないそのところにいっぱい意味詰め込めるっていうのもあるんだけど、でもそれだけじゃなくて新しい単語を覚えるときに漢字の方が圧倒的に意味が分かりやすいし。
Yeah, I mean, and you've got with Jukugo, with kanji combinations, you can sometimes get 5 or 6 English words into 2 characters. Like there's a word I had not actually seen it before, but it was in my like civil code commentary, shumbetsu. And shumbetsu, that's kewashi shun. 別段、特別の別. And together it means to make a strict distinction between things. Like, I mean, even if I were to clean that up a little bit in English, that's still 3 or 4 words that I would probably need in order to say the exact same thing that you can just say with shumbetsu, 2 characters.
覚えやすいっていうのがあると思うんだよね。
漢字の方がややこしくて書けないけどこんな覚えられないみたいになったりしないの？その外国人目線で。
それはわかりますよ、もちろん。でも実はそれは結構勉強の仕方がすごい大事で、理論立てて論理的に勉強すれば実はそんな難しくないよっていうのがあるんですけど、それ実はその4つ目のポイントなんで、その後で we'll get to it みたいな感じなんですけど。
Yeah. Oh wait, they've renamed Joyo Kanji? What's it now called?
秘密お教えします。最後まで見てね。
漢字で書いた方が新しい単語とか覚えやすいよねっていう示せるためにちょっとクイズ出したいなと思って今。
クイズこう
そう、主に多分もうヤナさんがほぼ英語はほぼネイティブ並みにできるんで、主にヤナさんですけど、とにかくその出してみましょう。
怖い。
その簡単にこの最初のアフェイジャっていうこれ英単語なんだけど、その知ってる方います？その意味。
Is that like a flower?
Do you know?
喋れないことだ。言語障害というわけなんですけど、意味名称、日本語の名称は覚えてませんね。でも
ある喋れなくなるという脳障害のこと。
Like something like medical.
Yeah, something medical, something that goes wrong with your body, I guess, or your body, your brain.
Aphasia. Aphasia.
I have no freaking idea.
No, I'm getting dementia from this.
認知症。認知症とアフェイジャーは
You're kind of close.
Oh, really? Okay, alright. Short-term memory loss, kind of? Like something phases in and out?
Okay, kind of in the right area.
in that it's all in the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so now I'll show you the kanji. It's 失語症.
Oh god, that's so fucking easy. 失語症、失語、lose language condition. 簡単だよ. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've not actually seen that written out before. But if I saw that in context, text, having never written that out, seen that written out before. Oh, that's why I've never heard it called Toyo Kanji. So, I mean, this is a good example, because if you know the kanji here, and none of these are particularly unusual kanji, and you know what the condition is that it exists, you could pretty quickly work out what that is. Like, if I encountered that in something I was reading, I would know immediately without having to look it up.
You forget language?
Lose
Yeah, so you know,
condition.
You lose
language disease.
Wow.
どういう意味？これもこの日本語してた人っています？
日本語はわかる。英語の方はわかんないけど。
これも初めて。このその一個一個の漢字は
喋れなくなる的な。
そう。脳卒中とかで
喋れなくなったり理解できなくなったりするする病状なんです。つまりですね。ウェルニケ型とブローカー型があるんだけど、ウェルニケ型は全く言葉通じなくなるというような失語症で、ブローカーは通じるけど喋れなくなってしまった失語症というわけです。ちょっと脳内のエリアは違うんです。
喋れなくなる。その病気っていうか。It's when you have a stroke and you lose the
ability. It must be absolutely fucking frustrating for everybody involved in it.
Ability to use language.
Okay.
Well, like what I was explaining in Japanese for anyone who wasn't following it is there's two different versions of it. They both suck. But there's one where you also don't understand anything. Like, words just mean nothing to you. Or they mean something, or they're just not connecting to anything. You recognize them as words, and you can say words, but none of it makes sense, and what people say to you doesn't make any sense either. And then there's another version where you just can't articulate them, but you understand them. And, yeah, I mean, both of them suck, but two somewhat different versions of suck.
パッと見てもうちょっと意味わかるかもとか、あとその読み方失語症って言っちゃったんだけど、普通にその漢字分かってたらもう漢字見ただけで失語症かなみたいなもう大体想像つくよね。だからそれ聞いてなるほどねってなってもうこれ一発で覚えられるわけじゃん。
確かに。So if you're telling me if I want to become a doctor, I just have to learn kanji, because then I could just.
Except there are lots of, I mean, medical kanji. There is a lot of kanken ikkyu haito nai kanji. Yeah, that you have to learn for medicine. Like if you read an anatomy book, the number of a lot of the time they just use hiragana. But if you want to learn the actual kanji for them, it's a lot. There's a lot of new kanji in there.
Read it like a picture book.
でも本当にそう。
Yeah.
多分医学生とかもう間違いなくその日本語の方がやりやすいと思う。それなぜかっていうと、そういうなんか専門用語がいっぱいあるわけじゃん。その医学の、その英語の場合はだいたいそのギリシャ語かラテン語のルーツとかそういうのを取ってくっつけてそういうその医学のその専門用語を作ってるわけなんだけど、普通にネイティブでもそういうラテン語とかギリシャ語ってそんな分かんないわけなんだよね。でも日本語の場合はそのラテン語とかじゃなくて普通に漢字を
Yeah, I mean, and this is true with like all the specialized terminology. Like, yeah, I mean, if you were looking at in kind of any field, unless it's like specialized terminology about like Heian era stuff or something like that, like modern post Meiji technical terminology, if you know kanji, Japanese is easier. Because either they're using English words or they're using kanji that are relatively familiar to explain a phenomenon. And either way it works out and either way it's fairly easy to follow.
せて作ってるからもうパッと見て大体意味とか読み方わかるしもうすごい覚えやすいっていうのはあると思う。
なるほど。So to become a doctor in America, you need to learn English, then you need to learn Latin, then you need to learn Greek roots. But then Japanese, you just
French.
learn one.
There's a lot of French stuff in English medical terminology. Like, I mean, there's a heart rhythm that actually it looks like the readout on Audible when you're recording audio. Called torsade de pointe, and it's just that's the English name for it is torsade de pointe, twisting of the points. So you've got to know that stuff too.
Right? Oh my gosh, that's the answer, doctors. That's the answer. 医学の勉強してください。バイロンもパッとは思い出せないくらいの単語。日本人がパッてあれ漢字見たらああなるほどねってわかるもんね。
そう僕も多分こういうアフェイジャー覚えた後にもうなんか。その次の日になってあの単語なんだっけなんか A で始まったよねもうぐらいのそう喋れなくなるやつなんて言うんだっけみたいなそうでも失語症だったら多分もう一発で覚えられると思うセラベランさっきちょっとやっぱりもうパッと聞いてもう想像つかないよね小脳ちっちゃい脳って書いてあるでそうこういう脳のこういうちっちゃい部分すごい日本語の方が分かりやすいと思うしハイパーハイドロシスは
ドイツもそうか
ハイパーハイドロシス
過剰水分症とか。
Oh, okay.
多汗症。
多汗症。
多い汗症状。そうそうそう。
Yeah, like lots of sweat. Yes, much sweat condition. Hey, Badger, how you doing?
ハイパーハイドロシスってなんかもう何も宇宙人なる病気かみたいな。これ知
ってたハイパーハイドロシス。
わかんないけどなんか水関係あるなっては思うんだけど。
そうね、ハイドロって書いてるからね。でもそれくらいだよね。Isn't that just all of 東南アジア？Because we all sweat.
これもなんか hypertension 高血。
Yeah, high blood pressure. Like literally, if you read it out, the meaning of each character in there, you have the definition of the term. Hypertension in English. High, cool, blood, ketsu, pressure, atsu. High blood pressure. Cool ketsatsu. And hypotension is te ketsatsu, which is low blood pressure. 3 characters that pretty much anyone who is even slightly literate will know. And it covers the field.
ハイパーテンション
はけどまあそれも分かりやすいよね。あと普通にその長さ的に。
I mean, I'm just thinking about this in terms of like writing it in German. Because in German you'd say, I mean, like the more common term is Bluthochdruck. That's what? Okay, Blut 4, Hoch 4, Druck 5. So what? 13 characters to write that. Or hyper. Okay, so 5, 8. Wait, is that also fucking hell? Okay, no, that's 12. So it's 12 or 13 characters, depending on which version of it you're saying. And in Japanese, you say that in 3 characters. Kouketsu atsu. That's it. Like, I mean, Japanese is made for Twitter.
Hyperhidrosis ってもうめっちゃ長いのに多汗症。
Yeah, I mean, look, 3 characters also.
って短いし、これも病気じゃないやつでいくと、heliocentrism パッと聞いて俺でもわかんないんだけど、まあ地動説がわかりやすい。
Yeah, which is like Earth move theory. 地 Earth 動 move 説 like hypothesis or theory.
もう3文字短いし、the theory that the Earth moves instead of the sun moves. The other one's called 天動説。
そうね。
Heaven move theory.
反対。だからそういうのも覚えやすいってのもあるし、で普通にもう短くてもう言いやすいし簡潔に伝えられるっていうので、例えばこの日韓関係と とかもう普通にもう4文字で言いやすいじゃん、もう英語にすると The relationship between Japan and Korea めちゃめちゃ長くなる。
It's crazy how a country could be represented in a single kanji
ね、
そうだからそういう一旦覚えるとそういうすごい簡潔に伝えられるっていう、その老若男女とか、そう Men and women of every age とかその people of
Old young man, woman.
all ages and both sexes とかもうめちゃくちゃ普通に文章になる。
そう四字熟語とか最強説あるよ。
もうそう本当にもう情報密度半端ないよ。
I mean, this is what I always say too. The information density is incredible. The amount of stuff. I mean, especially when you get into yojijuku, because there's all sorts of like history that is packed into those. A lot of the time, it's just one like 4 evocative characters, and it tells you just a whole bunch, just a huge amount of information.
確かにさっき見ててハイパーテンションって書いてあって、多分それってそのまま表してるよね、ハイパーで高でしょ、高い、テンションで圧だから、高血圧だと思うんだけど、日本語の高血圧の方がシュンってしてるもんね、
あとさ、血のこと一切語ってなくない？ハイパーテンションって。
ああ確かに。
そうだからその情報がちょっとね入ってる。
確かにそれもちょっとその考え。
Yeah, that's true. Like we just know in English when we talk about hypertension that we're talking about blood pressure and not like say electrical tension.
で大体なんか英語訳の方が情報が少なくなってる場合が多くて、そう例えばその何々厳禁ってその厳しく禁じるって書いて何々厳禁よくあるんだけど、それ英訳したら strictly forbidden みたいな。
Yeah, look at that. That's 2 characters in Japanese and 2 whole words. Let me see. So that's 6, 8, 14, 17 letters. And in Japanese it's genki. 2 characters.
でも大体その strictly のところがその抜けてただ forbidden そう何々禁止と一緒になってる。だから strictly forbidden だともう場所を取りすぎるからスペース取りすぎるからちょうどなく strictly を捨てて、もう forbidden だけにする。alcohol is forbidden とか、で日本語訳がちゃんと厳禁ってもうちょっと情報量が多いっていう場合が多い。
その日本は人口だけじゃなくて漢字もちゃんとちっちゃいところにこう収まる。
軽自動車みたいな。
縦列駐車が得意です。
この前その旅行彼女と一緒に旅行行って帰ってきて振り返った時にこの旅行って喜怒哀楽あったよねみたいな。でも悲しみ別になかったからもうその、この愛だけもう愛するの愛。そのラブの愛に変えてそのちょっと怒りはちょっとあったけど4分の3ぐらいはもうポジティブな感情でもう喜怒哀楽みたいな。そうだったよね。
今何聞かされてる
の？漢字はすごい情報密度が高くて、コミュニケーションにおいて効率がいいっていう。
音だけじゃなくて情報入ってるからね。
そうだね。
文字に。
あとやっぱり日本人も感覚として漢字で書いてあった方がもうパッと見てわかる。
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people who, when they're first starting out in Japanese, they like find out about the kanji and they're like, why don't they get rid of kanji? That would be so much easier. Because they're thinking about it in terms of learning them in the first place. But the thing is, when you actually look at like Japanese written without them at all, it is like indecipherable. I mean, I'm not going to say indecipherable, but it's a pain in the ass to read. Like, I was watching this drama the other night, and this person, who is like taking this kid hostage or something like that, is sending messages to the cops, and the messages are all in katakana, and it's like, no, please, just what do we need to trade to get at least a couple of kanji in this? Because it's a pain in the ass to read.
この脳卒中の人とかは脳のどの部分が損傷を受けるかによってひらがなだけ読めなくなる日本人と漢字だけ読めなくなる日本人ってそのいるらしいんだよね。
それ面白い。
絵として情報入ってきてるかもみたいな感じ。
そうそうそう。だから多分音声的な部分よりもそういう視覚的な部分が使われてるからそっちの部分その損傷を受けちゃったら漢字読めなくなるけどひらがなの部分まだ生きてて逆もありみたいな感じ。
Yeah, because hiragana are phonetic.
だから漢字の方が絵としてその脳の中で処理されてるからやっぱパッと見てスッて入ってくるよね。
I mean, I'd never heard that before. It makes sense.
ということで1個目は
漢字はものすごく実用的だっていうことですね。
話でした。
2個目3個目そんな長くないんだよ心配して。次漢字は 美しいです。
美しい。
綺麗だよね。書道で書く時とか特にね。
そう、もうまさにそうで、そう日本人は多分漢字よりも英語の方がかっこいいってやっぱ思ってるじゃないですか。だから、
I mean, Yankee seem to like really difficult kanji without necessarily actually checking out what they mean first.
服とかももう適当な英語書いてあるシャツとかもめちゃくちゃ。
Maybe that's why they're called Yankee, because they treat kanji the way like Yanks treat kanji tattoos.
量産してるし、
そうね。
でも逆に外国人からしたら漢字の方が、まあ漢字というかもう日本語の文字の方が圧倒的にかっこいいわけなんだよね。隣の芝生が青いっていうか、まあないものねだり的な部分はあると思う。やっぱり普段からずっと見慣れてると、もうかっこいいとか美しいとかもうなくなるじゃん。もうただ普通っていうか。
そうね。
見慣れてない、もう海外の遠くから来たものってだけで、やっぱりちょっとおしゃれに感じることもあると思うんだけど、でも、昔、
Very true, and I think I'm going to just wrap it up now, just cut it a bit short because I'm actually quite hungry. So thank you to everyone who joined. I hope you enjoyed this stream, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, most likely at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And